I won't test those up.
And now your starting lineup will start with Seneca, the Sting, in his second year from Toronto, number 1, Dakota Lewis. From North York in his third year, 5'11" guard, number 4, Isaiah Ankra. From Richmond Hill, at guard, 6'2", number 8, Raymond Young. Also in guard in his second year from Kabul, 6'1", number 11, Shakib Rhea Surakakar. And from Larkin in his third year, 5'10" guard, number 23, Jordan Anderson. David Haley in his fifth year, the head coach of the Sting.
No.
And your starters from the Saints of St. Clair College, at guard from Pontiac, Michigan in his fourth year, 6'2" guard, number 1, David Gomez. At guard from Toronto, a rookie, 6 feet tall, number 3, Hossam Shallow. At forward from Romulus, Michigan in his fourth year. At forward, 6'4", Dalen Davis. At forward at 6'5" from Ypsilanti, Michigan in his third year, number 8, Jaden Harmon. And from Detroit, Michigan in his third year, at forward at 6'6", number 24, Lynn Willis Harris. Brendan Seguin, the co-head coach with Matthew Skies, fights of the Saints. Tip-off is next.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We bring you a tilt between the St. Clair Saints and the Seneca Sting. A cross-conference quarterfinal matchup here, and we are in for an exciting one. The St. Clair Saints coming into this one 14-6, good enough for third in the very tight, highly contested OCAA West Division. Meanwhile, the Seneca Sting 17-3 in the OCAA East, and we are officially underway. And right out of the gate, that's Dakota Lewis getting the Sting on the board. Trying to retaliate is number 24, Gwyn Willis Paris, no good. And here comes Dakota Lewis again. He's stripped in now, number 5. Hope you don't mind the fast pace here. Dakota Lewis with a quick 5 points here for the Seneca Sting. Looking to retaliate right away. It's Dalen Davis for St. Clair. Now in the hands of Jaden Harmon. He's looking for 3. Wanted a foul call, and my goodness, the building's half full, but the volume's at 11. And the defense chance start right away. I think we got a busload of St. Clair Saints fans that made their way up here, and we certainly welcome them today to the Lions Den. From long range, it's It's Jordan Anderson. The third-year 5'10" guard out of Markham, 14 points per game to go along with a pair of steals, making an immediate impact here. And pardon me if it sounds like I'm yelling, I don't have a choice in the matter. It is loud right underneath the broadcast booth here. As we get a little bit of decorum here. Setting up at the line is Dalen Davis, 7 points per game, 6 rebounds per game this season. The fourth-year wing out of Romulus, Michigan, hits his first free throw to get the Saints on the board here. And we got a handful of Seneca fans in attendance as well, making some noise on that free throw. My goodness, this crowd is alive. We'd love to see it here in this OCAA quarterfinal matchup at the Basketball Championships here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex, hosted by Lambton College. Up and under is number 11, Shikabi Rahe Suratgar. Shello can't finish off, and here come the Sting once again. Fast-paced offense, wasting no time. That is number 8, Raymond Young. Going back the other way, it is Saints ball, 10-2. The Seneca Sting leading the St. Clair Saints. Davis going across to Shello. Shello now to Jaden Harmon. Back to Shello for 3. Yes. Hussein Shello, 8 points per game, 4 boards for the rookie out of Toronto. Some fancy footwork from Ankara to get it back over to Anderson. Firing is number 11, Suratgar. The 6'1" second-year guard from Kabul making his impact right away. Shello called for the offensive foul, and the Seneca Sting bench already unglued here. Making some noise real quick. Isaiah Ankara taking his time to bring it to half court. Suratgar looking for some help. Young back out to number 23, Jordan Anderson, no good, and here come the Saints in transition. Harmon back over to Shello for 3, no. Suratgar gets the rebound. Dakota Lewis fighting for 2, no good. Was pulled down by Davis. They're gonna get the over and back called, no. And Gwen Willis-Paris tries to find Shello in the paint. And he finds his way into the Seneca bench. Substitution will be made here. As Josiah Deere is going to find his way into the game. Isaiah Ankara given second team All-Star honors last night at the annual awards banquet, and rightfully so. 16 points per game, 7 boards, 5 assists. He'll get you a pair of steals every night too.
Number 6, Darnell Petty.
Darnell Petty has entered the game now for St. Clair. Immediately called for the foul. Suratgar gets it back over to Ankara. Ankara goes across to Dakota Lewis. Lewis tries to feed Suratgar down low. Raymond Young gets it. He finds a lane off the glass at the buzzer. Raymond and Young for 2, and my goodness, Seneca's already opened up a 10-point lead. And they'll look to extend it here. Ankra has it now. He drives, gets around Willis Paris. He's fouled on the way, and he's shooting 2. And a quick timeout is called as St. Clair looks to regroup here in the first quarter as they find themselves at the wrong end of a 15-5 score. The Seneca Sting leading this one. Last night, Dakota Lewis, that's one guy to watch. Number 1 for the Seneca Sting, 22 points per game, 6.5 boards, and will give you 41% from beyond the arc. First team All-Star honors was anointed last night at the annual banquet. Congratulations to all the award winners. And we're certainly going to see more of them. Player of the Year, Nick Campbell for the Sheridan Bruins. He'll be featured in the 6 o'clock matchup against the Redeemer Royals. And then, of course, at 8 o'clock tonight, the host Lambton Lions will take on the beast from the East, the George Brown Huskies, the East Division champions. And one of the teams considered a favorite, but right now Seneca certainly making their case. Seneca going from right to left. They're wearing the red jerseys on your screen, and the St. Clair Saints going from left to right. They are wearing the white jerseys.
Number 4, Isaiah Ankra, shoot 2.
Ankra, the third-year guard from North York, misses his first free throw. 16 points per game, an impressive season it's been for him. It's what he does outside of scoring as well as he goes 1 for 2. 7 rebounds, gets you a couple of steals every night as well. And now St. Clair is going to get back into this one as they're going to have to heavily guard the perimeter from Seneca because Seneca's a team that likes to shoot threes. They shoot them more than anyone. They do it better than anyone. Looks like the offensive foul got called. It's going to go back the other way. It's St. Clair ball. Josiah Dare will inbound it. Now back in the hands of number 6, Darnell Petty. Back over to David Gomez Jr. Gomez, first team All-Star honors as well, is off on that shot. How about Dakota Lewis though? No good. And here we go, wasting no time, is David Gomez Jr. in transition.
Gomez Jr.
Trying to get the momentum to swing back in the other direction, the St. Clair Saints, but there is Isaiah Ankra with the answer. And Josiah Dare fed at the baseline. Josiah Dare, an impact player off the bench all season for St. Clair, 13 points, 5 rebounds per game. As Jerry Mercury is called for the offensive foul. Dalen Davis is going to re-enter the game as Jerry Mercury will take a seat after the charge. And Jordan Anderson is going to inbound for Seneca. Gets it to Isaiah Ankra. Anderson can't finish. There's Ankra, gets the loose ball, feeds Dakota Lewis at the baseline.
Lewis from Akron.
And St. Clair, even though it's the first quarter, starting to play with a little bit of urgency. Dare might have gotten away with a walk there. As Dalen Davis draws the foul, he is going to shoot 2. Miles Hall will check into the game for the Saints.
Dalen Davis to shoot a pair.
Miles Hall, the 5'10" rookie guard from Toronto, seeing his first tournament action. As Dalen Davis will shoot 2. First one is good. 6'4" guard forward combo out of Romulus, Michigan in his 4th year. There's Lewis with the rebound, getting it out back to Ankra. Ankra to Sarakar and then back to Anderson from the corner.
Jordan Anderson for 3.
St. Clair with some excellent ball movement, able to maintain possession, and Josiah Dare gets it up for 2. Ankra taking his time. They can certainly afford it. As Anderson goes from long range.
Anderson for 3.
And well off the mark is the shot from Josiah Dare. And the Seneca fans in attendance are letting him have it. Seneca coaching staff over at the sideline with a little bit of skip in their step. Rightfully so, considering how this first quarter's gone for them. Sarakar mishandles it, but last touch by St. Clair. And it will remain Seneca ball as number 3, Johnny Katenge, is going to enter the game. Katenge, another impact player off the bench, 7 points, 4 boards, nearly 4 assists per game as well. Shot clock down to 3. Ankra from long range, yes!
Akron for 3.
My goodness. And answering back right away, Jaden Harmon.
Harmon.
Seneca Sting, the top team in the OCAA for 3-pointers attempted, 3-pointers made, and they are top 3 in percentage. Fresh legs will come back on for St. Clair. Glenn Willis Paris will re-enter the game, and Jawan Lynch will check in as well. He wears number 5. Seneca ball here. Ankra is going to inbound it with 12 seconds. Dakota Lewis trying to set him up for the alley-oop. Lewis trying to throw it off the leg of Davis, but the ball stays in bounds. And back come the Saints. Josiah Dare gets an opportunity to set up at the free throw line and cut into the deficit.
Josiah Dare.
Second-year guard, 6'3" from Whitney, Josiah Dare will shoot 2. There's a few select Seneca fans making a little bit of noise here as he attempts to shoot. And the second one, it'll work that time. Going back the other way now, it is Seneca ball. 1:09 to go here, 29-13. The Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints here in quarterfinal action at the OCAA Basketball Championship. Johnny Katenge is going to bring it to half court. Katenge gets the screen set for him, pick and roll. Couldn't get it to Morgan though. Back out to Katenge. Cross court to a wide open Anderson from the corner, yes! And the Seneca Sting putting on a show from long range here in the first quarter. Looking to answer back, Glenn Willis Paris, no good. And here they come again, it's Isaiah Ankra. Ankra from three, no. Morgan couldn't get the rebound, and back come the Saints here.
Dalen Davis at the line.
And the 6'4" guard forward from Romulus, Dalen Davis, will shoot two. Once again, these screams from the Seneca supporters in attendance here as he shoots, unfazed on the first one. Second free throw from Davis is good, goes 2 for 2. Raymond Young is going to inbound it for Seneca. Gets it out to Ankra. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It is all Seneca so far. Ankra taking his time. Davis guarding close by here. Shot clock down to 7. The step back and a clean block. They're going to say it's lobbed and the shot is short, but Isaiah Ankra still down at the other end. He gives his teammate a fist bump. He's okay. End of the first quarter, Seneca Sting 32. The St. Clair Saints 15. And the Sting putting on an absolute clinic from long range in the first quarter. Leading the way, Jordan Anderson with 12 points.
Pretty good on threes.
Take it back there, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Slide.
And how about the Seneca Sting in that first quarter? 7 of 10 from beyond the arc. Shooting 70%. They're one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the entire OCAA. They attempt more and they make more than anyone else. And they're third in percentage on the season, shooting about 34% from 3, but 70% in the first quarter. How on earth do you beat that? Meanwhile, the struggles for the St. Clair Saints. Shooting just 4 of 17 from the field, 1 of 11 from 3. And they'll have to improve tremendously on that mark if they're going to get back into this contest. My goodness, what a performance we have seen here in the first quarter by the Seneca Sting. Looking forward to seeing more of this one. In case you missed it a little bit earlier, the Humber Hawks have punched their ticket to the semifinals in 88-60 convincing victory over the Georgian Grizzlies. And a game that was starting to get interesting in the third quarter, and then the Humber Hawks just put the pedal to the floor, and the rest was history. 88-60 it finished. And the second quarter here just about to get underway. Jordan Anderson, number 23 for the Seneca Sting, 4 for 5 from beyond the arc in the first quarter. Averaging about 14 points per game, a pair of steals. Looking forward to seeing more of him here in the second. wait for both sides to get set up here. We are back at it here. Second quarter now officially underway. Katenge back on the floor here for Seneca. To Jordan Anderson. Back to Katenge. And it rattles in. And the Sting pick it up right where they left off. Firing from the corner is Jawan Lynch, no good. Just that fast-paced Seneca offense, so hard to defend, and from long range, again, there's Dakota Lewis, it's off the mark. Out of bounds, and they're gonna say Seneca ball. Glenn Willis Parrish shaking his head, doesn't like the call. And Anderson is going to inbound for the Sting. Out to Japrell Morgan, now in the hands of Katenge. Johnny Katenge. Back out to Jordan Anderson from three. It rattles out. And an opportunity now for the Saints to cut into the deficit. They work it around. It is back in the hands of Davis now, leaning into it for three. It is good from Jaden Harmon. Third-year forward from Ypsilanti, nearly 10 points a game, 5 boards, almost 2 steals a game as well. Doing it at both ends of the court. Raymond Young, three, no. And some applause from the Saints supporters right underneath the broadcast booth here. Going back the other way now, it will be Sting ball. Dakota Lewis is going to inbound. He gets it to Anderson. He calls Lewis back. And some great ball movement from the Sting. Katenge. He's calling for Ankra to go across the paint. He's calling for it in the corner. Katenge decides to float it in though. And the Sting now doubling up the Saints here, 36-18. As Darnell Petty re-enters the game for St. Clair in favor of Dalen Davis. He'll take a seat for now. Darnell Petty with Katenge guarding close by. Gets it back over to Gomez Jr. Back to Petty. Back out to Glenn Willis. Paris looking for the tray, nothing but net. Anderson back to Ankra. To Katenge. And a foul is called. Foul is going to be called on Darnell Petty. Jordan Anderson will inbound for the Seneca Sting. To Katenge, back to Anderson. Katenge twice thought he might have been fouled there. But no, they're going to say it was a clean strip. And back come the Sting once again. Isaiah Ankra looking for Dakota Lewis. Instead, he'll find Katenge in the corner. Three's not going to count. And we'll see Isaiah Ankra inbound for the Seneca Sting. He gets it to Jordan Anderson. Once again in the hands of Anderson. Back to Isaiah Ankra. And a little bit of a tie-up there between Harmon and Morgan. Going to call Morgan for the foul away from the ball, and it will be St. Clair possession. Gomez Jr. trying to float it in. Shot is a little short. Katenge with the outlet pass to Anderson. Working it around to Dakota Lewis, no doubt about it. The first team All-Star from long range, 22 points a game, 6 boards on the season, 41% from 3. And rattling in is Miles Hall. The 5'10" rookie guard from Toronto. And Dakota Lewis again, no from long range, it'll miss. And back come the Saints here, Miles Hall. And well off the mark is Jaden Harmon. And some air ball chants coming from the Seneca fans here. Coming up on the halfway mark here, 39-23, the Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints. And the bounce pass to Anderson is tipped out of bounds. It will remain Seneca ball as Raymond Young re-enters the game for the Sting. Jerry Mercury re-enters the game for the St. Clair Saints, timeout called. (39-23), the Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints. Quarterfinal action here at the OCAA Basketball Championship here on your TV and at OCAA.com/OCAA Live. We certainly thank you for joining us this afternoon in the second of 4 quarterfinal matchups we bring you here today. If you missed it a little bit earlier, the Humber Hawks, no real trouble dispatching the Georgian Grizzlies 88-60. That one finished. And still to come later on this afternoon, this evening, I should say, the Redeemer Royals and the Sheridan Bruins in what will surely be a tight Western Conference showdown. And then later on tonight, the main event, the Lambton Lions coming into the tournament, winning 7 consecutive games, the longest active winning streak in the OCAA. The hosts taking on the beast from the east, the top-seeded George Brown Huskies. The East Division champions, 17-3. As Johnny Katenge inbounds to Anderson, catch and release, 3, and it's good. Miles Hall has it near half court now for St. Clair. Gets it to Glenn Willis Paris. Gomez was calling for it, gets it back to Hall. Now in the hands of Gomez Jr. again, works his way into the paint. Hall left open for 3. It is off the mark. And the air ball chants come out again from the Sting faithful. Ankra and Anderson going back and forth. Isaiah Ankra, number 4, brings it to half court. Back to Anderson. Anderson to Ankra. Out it's Johnny Katenge from long range. No good, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Ankra. It will be St. Clair ball. Chalot back in the game here for St. Clair. Chalot was looking for an opening, couldn't get it. Josiah Dare back over to Glenn Willis Paris. Back in the hands of Jerry Mercury, who's back in the game. Steps in, good for 2. Anderson trapped at half court, gets it back over to Ankra. Katenge feeds Young underneath. Back out to Ankra for an open three. No good. But there's Anderson, catch and release, and that one well off the mark. And the Saints fans letting him know that it was an air ball. Crowd's calmed down a little bit here, but still a fair bit of volume. I don't know what it looks like on your screen, but right below us here at the broadcast booth seems to be where all the booster clubs have congregated. As it's Seneca ball. Isaiah Ankra now. And that pass ends up off the iron. Don't know if that's going to register as a shot or not. I don't believe it was intentional. There we go. Katenge will get to inbound it here for Seneca. Gets it out to Raymond Young. Young back over to Lewis to Katenge. Cross court to Anderson. Young in the corner. Catch three. No good. And it's collected by the Saints, and back they come. Josiah Dare looking for Chalot. Three is no good. Katenge has it now. Was looking for the outlet pass. And Ankra showing some fancy footwork to get it back out. Katenge feeds Dakota Lewis in the paint. Ref gestures 2. Lewis already in double digits here. He has 10. And make it 11 for him, averaging about 22 points per game on the season, so keep it up with that pace. Haven't seen too much of him from long range, but that's where he does it best. 41% from 3 on the season. And a timeout is called. Dakota Lewis, that don't let that percentage fool you either. He shoots a lot of them. He attempts about 9 per game. Anderson leading the way with 15. Dakota Lewis has 12. And on the other side, Dalen Davis and Jaden Harmon for the St. Clair Saints. Each of them have 5. As they're going to rely on them fairly heavily here as we get into the second half. Been a lower scoring second quarter here. Certainly compared to the first, but line up the teams here. Seneca, 9 of 20 from beyond the arc, good for 45%. The St. Clair Saints just 3 of 17. They're just 29% from the field. Only 17% from 3, and that has been the difference maker here. Turnovers fairly even in this one so far. Seneca heavily out rebounding on those 17-10 and just moving the ball around a lot more as well. As we get back into it. Dalen Davis handing it off to David Gomez Jr. And they're going to count it. And some much needed offense. And the shot well short for Gomez. Josiah Dare able to get a handle on it again. Harmon, turnaround jumper is good. Great effort from Jaden Harmon. Jordan Anderson goes back to Ankra. Katenge. Now to Raymond Young. Now to Dakota Lewis, feeding Katenge in the paint off the glass. Good for 2 more. And off the bench, Johnny Katenge has 6. David Gomez Jr. pull up at the free throw line will find its way in. David Gomez Jr. right now at just 6 points. Dakota Lewis from long range strafes to the left and burns them for 3 more. Catch and release from Josiah Dare, no good. Raymond Young gets the rebound. Seneca firmly in control here, maintaining an 18-point lead. Ankra, no good. And they're going to say Jaden Harmon was bumped as he tried to get around the defender. It will remain Saints ball. With 1:34 to go here in the second quarter. Darnell Petty back in the game for St. Clair. He will inbound to Gomez. Gomez Jr. gives the head nod to set up the pick and roll. Harmon rolled in, couldn't get it to him though. Instead, it's going to be Petty giving it a shot, no good. There you go. Darnell Petty getting the ball back. Isaiah Ankra to Katenge, feeding Anderson, who runs baseline for 2.
Anderson from Kentucky.
Petty cross court to Dare. Dare, the 3 is short. And fast-paced, the Seneca Sting come back. Anderson 3, yes. And here comes a timeout. St. Clair will use a timeout here to try and draw something up to just curb the momentum of the Seneca Sting, but they are firmly in control here as they sport a 21-point lead. 54-33, the Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints. And my goodness, you got to hand it to Jordan Anderson, 18 points. He's hit 6 of them from beyond the arc. Means all 18 of his points have come from 3. And that's what Seneca does. They shoot more 3s and hit more 3s than any other team in the province. Hit about 12 per game, and they do it fairly well. They're 3rd in the league in percentage, but 34% as a team on the season. Closer to 40 today as a team. And you got to hand it to Seneca, the 94-90 overtime thriller against Fanshawe last weekend in the crossover game. And Seneca dressed just 7 players for that one. At least only 7 players saw their way on the court. They went with their starters the entire way. And when you throw that into overtime, I want to say fatigue might be a factor here, but they've had 6 days rest and they look fantastic. St. Clair trying to get back into this one here. Gomez. Pull-up jumper is good. And they're going to say it was a long 2. But right now the Saints will take it. Currently at the wrong end of a 54-35 score in favor of the Seneca Sting, as the 3 from Dakota Lewis was short. Katenge gets the loose ball. Only about a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. Raymond Young a few feet back from the arc, no good. Shot clock is off. Down to a second here. And the heave from Jerry Mercury is no good. At the half, the Seneca Sting in the driver's seat here as they lead the St. Clair Saints by a score of 54-35. Jordan Anderson leading the way for the Seneca Sting. He has 18 points. And how about first-team All-Star Dakota Lewis with 15 points of his own, the second-year guard out of Toronto.
Get your tickets out. Blue tickets. The ones that say
shooting well, 32 points in that first quarter. What did that do for your momentum going into that second quarter to try to pull away from St. Clair?
Well, as good as we shot it, I think it also affected our defense a little bit because I think we wanted to shoot a little bit too much. So it's good that we made shots, but I'm a little bit concerned on after we make a shot, our defensive intensity.
Going into the locker room, what's the message to kind of finish this game off in the next 20 minutes here?
We got to continue to defend. You know, we're confident that we'll be able to score relatively enough points to have a chance to win, but we really want to try to defend the ball. So we're just going to go over some adjustments on what they're doing.
All right, best of luck in the second half. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you very much, Tyler. We will get back to it in just a few moments here. 54-35, the Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints at the half. Quarterfinal action here on the OCAA Basketball Championships. We'll be right back after this here on your TV at OCAA.com. Stay with us.
What's up, Lambton College? This is the Super Trooper team. Here we are, and we're wishing you a great year, full of shenanigans and liters of cola at the Lion's Den.
And some delicious Canadian poutine. Damn delicious Canadian.
Sounds like gonna be a good year there, right?
So good. Man, LC State. Why didn't we go to LC State?
I know, right? Come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a great year, Mal. You hear me?
Hi, I'm Matt Gordon, co-owner of Kelgore Limited. We're thrilled to be this year's presenting sponsor for the OCAA Men's Basketball Championship. On behalf of everyone at Kelgore, welcome to Championship Weekend. Go Lambton! Hi, I'm Matt Gordon, co-owner of Kelgore Limited. We're thrilled to be this year's presenting sponsor for the OCAA Men's Basketball Championship. On behalf of everyone at Kelgore, welcome to Championship Weekend. Go Lambton!
And at the half, the Seneca Sting currently in the driver's seat here against the St. Clair Saints, 54-35 here in this quarterfinal matchup of the OCAA Basketball Championship. Leading the way here, Jordan Anderson, 14 points per game, 2 steals coming into this one, already with 18 points in the first half, all of them coming from beyond the arc. And the first team All-Star, Dakota Lewis, number 1 for Seneca as well. 15 points in this one. He got the first team All-Star honors last night. And very different story here for the St. Clair Saints. Right now just looking to stay alive in this one as David Gomez Jr. leading the way. He has 8 points, the first team All-Star. Comes down to shooting. It's been as simple as that. The Seneca Sting, 52% from the field, 45% from 3. They've hit 11 of 24 in the first half. Meanwhile, the St. Clair Saints, 37% from the field and just 3 of 19 from beyond the arc, because otherwise turnovers have been relatively even. Seneca's out-rebounded them a little bit, but really the difference maker simply coming from beyond 3. It's what Seneca does best, and that's what St. Clair is up against as we head into the second half here. And of course, later on, a couple of more primetime games, Redeemer versus Sheridan. That one on the way at 6 o'clock. And then at 8 p.m. tonight, the host Lambton Lions will take on the top-seeded George Brown Huskies in one of the most anticipated matches of the tournament, that's for sure, and in all likelihood, a capacity crowd. We certainly invite you to join us for that one later on this evening. But we'll get to present matters. 54-35. The Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints in OCAA Championship quarterfinal basketball action right here on your TV. Second half on the way momentarily. About 4 minutes to go before the third quarter gets underway here. 54-35, the Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints. Before we get to our second half action, let's go down to courtside with Tyler Bennett.
Tyler Bennett here courtside with St. Clair co-head coach Matt Sykes. Matt, what was the message in the locker room coming into that? Obviously down by 19 going into the break.
It was get one stop at a time. The only way we're going to get back into this game is if we get some stops. The negativity in our bench has got to go a little bit, and I mean, staying positive will be good.
Looking into the head, 20 minutes left. First time you guys are here in 13 years.
Yeah.
What's the focus as you guys approach this last second half? Try to get back into it.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning curve for us. I mean, they're an experienced team, and they're showing it right now. We're showing our youth a little bit. We need to get stops and just ramp up the intensity and enjoy the moment while you're here.
All right, Matt. Thank you. Best of luck in the second half. All right, Tony.
Thank you very much, Tyler. 3 minutes to go here before the second half gets underway. And it's been a tale of two teams, that's for sure. Seneca Sting in the driver's seat, and the St. Clair Saints just trying to get anything going as they are shooting under 30% from the field. Seneca Sting, meanwhile, just firing on all cylinders, and especially from beyond the arc. It's what they do best. Hand it to Jordan Anderson. He gets the game ball so far, at least in the first half. 18 points, and all 18 of them coming from three. Wondered if we should have made a case for Jordan Anderson to get second-team All-Star honors last night at the annual awards banquet. Nonetheless, the Seneca Sting do have a pair of All-Stars in the lineup. Dakota Lewis got first-team All-Star honors last night, and the other one, Isaiah Ankra, the guard, 5'11", third year out of North York, the second-team All-Star. And let's go look at their lines respectively on the season. Dakota Lewis, first-team All-Star. How did he get there? 22 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and 41.5% from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Isaiah Ankra, 16 points per game, 7 rebounds, one of the few players in the league to average 5 assists per game. And defensively excellent, too, with a pair of steals every night, and that got him second-team honors as well. On the other side, David Gomez Jr. did receive an award last night, first-team All-Star, 19 points per game, 3 boards, 1.3 steals per contest as well. And he was instrumental in their crossover win last weekend in their 91-88 victory against La Cité. David Gomez Jr., 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, but the underlying stat, 6 steals. Turnovers making the difference in that one in their 3-point victory, which brings them to the tournament here today. And unfortunately for them, on the wrong side of a 54-35 score at the hands of the Seneca Sting. Seneca also almost had some trouble getting into this weekend's tournament here. Last weekend when they played Fanshawe, they hosted Fanshawe, goes to overtime, 94-90. The Seneca Sting squeak out the victory. Isaiah Ankra instrumental in that one as well. The second-team All-Star we just mentioned, 33 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists, just 2 dimes short of the triple-double, which is something you don't see very often here in the OCAA. Dakota Lewis, got to acknowledge him one more time as well. Not only did he get first-team All-Star honors, but East Division Player of the Year, and is now a certified CCAA All-Canadian player as a result. So congratulations to Dakota and all of the winners of those respective awards at last night's annual OCAA awards banquet. My first time being in attendance, and certainly was a fun evening, and we thank all of those who could attend, all the volunteers who helped put it on over at the Sunbridge out on Venetian Boulevard in Point Edward, and hope to do it again sometime. Second half action about to get underway here in the OCAA Basketball Championship quarterfinals between the Seneca Sting and St. Clair Saints. Starting 5 back on the floor here for Seneca. That includes Dakota Lewis, Isaiah Ankra, Raymond Young, Shakib Saratgar, and Jordan Anderson. For the St. Clair Saints on the floor, it's Gwen Willis-Paris, Dalen Davis, David Gomez Jr., who has the ball right now, Jaden Harmon, And Hussam Shalot, who now is in possession. Back over to Gomez. Pulls up. Long two is no good. And back come the Seneca Sting. Anchor across to Lewis. In the corner was Saratgar, who never had an opportunity to shoot because of the offensive foul. Back goes the other way. Gomez is going to inbound for the Saints. Now in the hands of Shalot at half court. And off the glass, it's good effort from Dalen Davis. Raymond Young to Saratgar. Back in the hands of Ankara. Back over to Raymond Young for three. No. And the tip back out to Gomez. Tries to go cross court. The pass is tipped out of bounds into the VIP section, and it will remain Saints ball. Shalot is going to inbound here for St. Clair. Gomez Jr. gets it back out to Shalot in the corner there. They work it around. Gomez Jr. back in the opposite corner. Turnaround jumper. Instead, he has to abort mission and get it back out to Shalot. Oh, and Lewis might have got away with a walk there for Seneca. It remains Sting ball. As Ankara goes back out to Lewis, kicks it in the corner to Young. Three is off the mark, and there's Shalot with the rebound. Outlet pass to Harmon. Harmon wants the foul. He gets it, and he's going to shoot two. Harmon right now currently at 7 points, averaging about 10 per game, 5 boards, and 1.7 steals per game this season. As the first free throw is off. Second free throw from Harmon is good. And the deficit for the Saints is cut to 16. Seneca held off the scoreboard here in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. Saratgar gets it back out to Lewis. Lewis to Young. Young trying to get an opening. He gets it to Anderson from three, and shot clock violation. It'll go back the other way now. Good defensive stop by St. Clair. Dalen Davis trying to get around Young. To Shalot. Back to Davis. To Gwyn Willis Paris. It's good. And the momentum shift may have begun here back in favor of the Saints. Saratgar fakes. Kicks back out to Ankara. Ankara calling up Young to try and maybe set up the pick and roll. Never mind. Instead, Anderson is off the mark with the three, and here comes St. Clair again. Gomez almost stripped by Anderson. Gomez Jr. trying to find an opening. His lane is closed. He decides the step back three might be worth it. And what do we have here? Ref has gestured technical.
Dakota Lewis will shoot the technical foul.
Looking for where it came from, perhaps. Either Gomez said something or they called him for the dive. Which, if it was a dive, it was very good acting. We were convinced up here. Regardless, Seneca ball, and they get their first offense of the quarter here. Anchor now to Lewis. Now in the hands of Anderson. Back to Lewis. Lewis to Sarnia to Young. Cross court to Ankra for 3. Yes. Isaiah Ankra from long range. And the lead back up to 17 for Seneca. Wide open is number 4, Dalen Davis. That shot well off the mark, though. And back come the Sting. Ankra able to maintain possession. Almost got away from him. Gomez Jr. keeping him in check. Screen is set for Ankra. Young had it opening in the corner, but he gets it back to Ankra instead. Ankra kicks to... We got another... No, perhaps not. There we go, Shalot. Some rapid ball movement from the Saints to try and reignite the offense. There's Davis with the O-board, kicks back to Gwyn Willis-Paris. And Gwyn Willis-Paris is going to set up for 2. And some fresh legs will re-enter the game for both sides here. Josiah Dare and Darnell Petty have entered the game for St. Clair. Johnny Katenge has re-entered the game for Seneca. As Gwyn Willis-Paris, shoots 1. Isaiah Ankra back out to Lewis. Mishandled by Anderson, and it is St. Clair ball. Willis-Paris from the corner, no good. Ankra can't keep it in bounds, and it will remain St. Clair ball. Spin move from Petty won't work for him, and here comes Seneca once again. Ankra on the fast break, kicks to Lewis from long range, no good. And there's Dare with the rebound. Picked off by Ankra, though. Goes cross court again to Anderson, waiting for it, no good, but there is Sarnia with the pull down. And a fresh 14 on the shot clock for him. It goes fast, though. Shot clock down to 5. Lewis, 3, yes. And the Sting have reopened up a 17-point lead against the Saints here. Past the halfway point. 4 minutes to go here in the third. Paris. As Seneca and St. Clair go shot for shot. Ankra brings it to half court. To Katenge to Sarnia in the paint, no good. Katenge gets it back though. Sarnia is going to try again, loses it, but Ankra is able to get the loose ball. He pulls up and shoots 3, yes! How about it, Isaiah Ankra? Josiah Dare, turnaround jumper, no good. It's pulled down by Sarakar and handed back to Ankra. Isaiah Ankra brings it back to half court. Now in the hands of Katenge to Anderson. To Lewis for three. Yes!
Lewis!
Count that baby and a foul. Dakota Lewis gets an opportunity here for a 4-point play. And a timeout has been called. With 3:02 to go here in the third, 67-47, the Seneca Sting leading the St. Clair Saints in OCAA Basketball Championship quarterfinal action here on your TV and OCAA.com. We certainly thank you for joining us on whatever platform you've selected. And we hope you'll join us here in person if you're able to for the late games coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. It is the Redeemer Royals and the Sheridan Bruins in a Western Conference tilt. And then our main event at 8 p.m., the Lambton Lions, the host, winners of 7 consecutive games to end the regular season, will take on the beast from the east, the George Brown Huskies. The top-seeded team in the OCAA Eastern Conference, the East Division champions. In they come looking to dethrone the hosts. And we'll get back into it in a second here. 67-47, the Seneca Sting leading the St. Clair Saints, who have been fighting hard. I think for them it feels like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, has just been unable to contain that potent Sting offense. Here we go, Dakota Lewis, first team All-Star, an opportunity for a 4-point play here. He hit the 3 near the sideline, was fouled on the way up, and he does it, 4-point play, which brings his total up to 22 here with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And it's going to come back the other way here. Isaiah Ankra will inbound. Ankra right now at 12 points. To Anderson, it was 18. He's been shut out so far here in the third. But 6 threes for him in the first half. He's got a bit of an opening if they want to kick it over to him. Instead, Ankra with some fancy footwork to Sarakar, up and under.
Sarakar from Ankra.
And now the Saints will try and get something going here to get back into this game. It is slipping away quickly. Dalen Davis for 3. It's off. Jerry Mercury with the O-board. Trying to get the O-board, though, and there is contentious fight for the ball, and Seneca's going to come out with it as Dakota Lewis goes off the glass for 2, and the lead now at 25 for the Seneca Sting. Gomez, the first team All-Star. And some debate about that foul amongst the refs. And the call is going to end up in favor of the Saints. It is Darnell Petty shooting 2.
Darnell Petty at the line.
Darnell Petty coming into this one from Pickering. The rookie with 7 points and 3 boards per game in his first campaign with the Saints. Free throws good. He's up to 5. Ball is out of bounds. They're going to say white ball. It is in favor of St. Clair. Trying to get the deficit back inside 20 here at least before the third quarter is over. A minute and a half to go. Right now it sits at 22. Gomez trying to drive, loses handle on it. And the refs say it's Seneca ball. Katenge to Anderson. In the corner, it's Sarakar. He'll bring it in. Back out to Anderson. Anderson fighting for 2 points. Can't get him, though. And there's Jerry Mercury getting the rebound. Back come the Saints. Inside a minute here to go in the third. Isaiah Ankra will bring it back now for Seneca. Kicks out to Lewis. Lewis tries to find Ankra in the corner. The pass is picked off, and here we go, 3-on-2. Saints can't finish, though. And now here comes Ankra to try and extend the lead. Count that baby, and a foul. Isaiah Ankra is going to the line for one. As Glenn Willis-Paris and Miles Hall will re-enter the game for St. Clair. Ankra gets to shoot one. Free throw from Ankra is off the mark. Regardless, a 24-point lead now for the Seneca Sting. As Miles Hall pulls up, and the two is good.
Miles Hall.
Young and Ankra going back and forth for Seneca. Back they come here. Shot clock is off, 12 seconds to go. They're going to try and hang on for last possession or work quick. We'll see here. Young to an open Anderson. Gesture in three. It's going to hit the framework up top. And St. Clair with 2.1 seconds on the clock get an opportunity for one quick play. Let's see. Harmon will launch it from half court. Nope. However, they are going to say he was fouled. And he gets an opportunity to shoot three.
Harmon at the line.
And the first one is short. Once again, the Seneca fans in attendance making a little bit of noise here. Second one doesn't faze him. Listen for that scream one more time. Oh, the timing was a little off on it, but nonetheless, Harmon misses 2 out of 3. And the St. Clair Saints will have to discuss over at their bench how to dig their way out of a 21-point deficit. Right now, the Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints 74-53 in OCAA basketball championship action here. The second of 4 quarterfinal matches today. A little bit earlier today, the Humber Hawks, no issue with the Georgian Grizzlies, 88-60, that one finished. And still to come later on, 6 o'clock, the Sheridan Bruins and the Redeemer Royals will take the floor, and then the main event, the Lambton Lions and George Brown Grizzlies, or George Brown Huskies, excuse me, coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. The George Brown Huskies coming into this one, the East Division champs. The Lambton Lions coming into tonight with the longest active winning streak in the OCAA at 7 consecutive games. Leading all scorers in this one, it is the star for the Seneca Sting, Dakota Lewis. He has 25 points, and Jordan Anderson with 18 of his own. All of them coming from long range, and all of those points coming in the first half, actually. So far, shutout in the third quarter, and Isaiah Ankra with 14 points of his own, the second team All-Star. He received that award last night. And St. Clair now will just try to get something going here. They're going to try and work quick. At least we imagine here as the gates open in just a few seconds here to start this fourth quarter. David Gomez Jr., West Division first team All-Star, awarded that last night, made it official. And his experience in his fourth year, the Saints are going to rely on heavily to get back into this one. As Miles Hall is back on the court here for St. Clair. Now to Harmon. Back out to Hall. Shot's no good. But there is Petty. Petty floats one in. And the Saints offense starts off on the right foot. Seneca will look to respond in kind. Katenge out to Ankra. Ankra for three, yes.
Ankra, 1, 2, 3.
Dakota Lewis has visited the scorekeeper's table. The All-Star for Seneca. He will check in at next whistle. Hall loses his footing. He's able to get back up. Lane opens for him. All for naught, though. It will be Seneca ball. As Sarakar will take a seat for the Sting. Jordan Anderson will inbound. Now in the hands of Isaiah Ankra once again. An impressive day for him at 17 points. Katenge trying to get over Glenn Willis-Paris. He feeds Ankra off the glass, and that's good for two more. Miles Hall looking to go coast to coast. Can't finish though, and there is Dakota Lewis picking up the loose ball. To Anderson to Ankra. Katenge calls for it. Gonna go over Willis-Paris. Can't finish though. And here we go. Petty to Hall. Hall was open for the three. He elected to walk in. And instead it's Harmon trying to draw the foul from long range. No good. And that is last touched by Katenge. It is Saints ball. Saints have their work cut out for them here in the fourth quarter, currently trailing 79-55. As Josiah Dare is back in the game for St. Clair, there's Gomez as well. Gomez stepping back, no good. Seneca Sting fans letting him know that he didn't hit any iron on that shot. And there is the three-point attempt from Lewis. No good. Ankra gets the loose ball, though, and a fresh 14-second shot clock for Seneca. Ankra with some fancy footwork to feed Lewis. Gets it back out to Ankra. Shot clock at 1. Gets the iron, and there's Young with another opportunity. Gets it to Katenge. He can't hit it. And Josiah Dare has it now and gets it out to Harmon to Gomez. Josiah Dare is going to inbound. He gets it to Harmon. Josiah Dare from the corner, good for the tray.
Dare for three.
There's Anderson, he launches the three and it rattles in, answering right back for the Seneca Sting. Harmon will look to drive, and he goes baseline for two, timeout called. Seneca Sting called a timeout here, and perhaps just an opportunity to remind the team that the game isn't over yet. Yes, they are in the driver's seat right now. Yes, they have a 22-point lead as we approach the halfway mark of the fourth quarter here, but the game is not over. And the big three for Seneca just continue to shine. Dakota Lewis, 25 points, the first team All-Star. Jordan Anderson with 21 points, all of them from beyond the arc. He's hit 7 trays in this one. And Isaiah Ankra, he wears number 4. He's got 19 points. Averages about 16 per game. Received second team All-Star honors last night at the annual awards banquet. 3 All-Stars featured in this game, actually. Dakota Lewis and Isaiah Ankra, with first and second team All-Star honors respectively for the East Division, and then David Gomez Jr., first team All-Star honors in the West Division. He plays for the Saints. Not currently on the court, but we imagine it won't be long before he's back out there. They're going to need his help if they want to get back into this game. 7:02 to go, 82-60. Seneca leading St. Clair. And working it around into the paint to Saratgar for 2. And the three-point attempt off the mark from Jaden Harmon. Isaiah Ankra looking for some options here. Looking for the screen from Katenge. He finds Anderson. Back to Ankra. To Katenge in the paint to Saratgar at baseline, no good. And back come the Saints. Miles Hall on the fast break. And they're able to keep it in bounds as Dakota Lewis will finger roll in for 2. In the corner is Isaiah Ankra again. To Katenge, behind the back pass to, the no-look pass rather to Dakota Lewis. And there you go, pass picked off by Ankra. And this one starting to slip away from the Saints as Anderson misses the 3. There's Josiah Dare pulling it down. He'll release quick, trying to get him back into it, no. And here comes Katenge for the Seneca Sting. Hand off to Ankra. Back to Katenge at the free throw line. Out to Dakota Lewis for 3, yes. And surprisingly, the Seneca Sting have now opened up a 31-point lead against the St. Clair Saints here in the fourth quarter. And believe me when I say we did not think we'd be saying that today. St. Clair Saints, very impressive season for them, 14-6. Good enough for third in the Western Conference, and some tough opponents in the West. If you're able to finish top 3 there, then you got a darn solid team. But the Seneca Sting, not to be looked down upon, 17-3, good enough for second in the league, or second in the East Division, I should say. Top 3-point shooting team when it comes to total three-pointers attempted and three-pointers made, and top 3 in percentage as well. And they're showing it today. And Dakota Lewis, what a day it's been for the first team All-Star, now sitting at 32 points. Halfway through the fourth quarter here. 5:15 to go, 91-60. Seneca leading St. Clair. And St. Clair will have to work extremely fast if they want to get back into it. Gomez Jr. back on the court for them. Considered pull it up, instead he feeds Dalen Davis for two. And here comes Anchor again. Was fed by Lewis. Anchor with Gomez close by. Trying to find an opening. Shot clock is down to 5. Sarakar out to Ankra. Sidestep, 3, yes! And he gestures to the bench that he wants off. Perhaps his work is done for now, and actually, he may have tweaked his leg there on the play. He's favoring his left leg. As soon as he released that, he looked over at the bench and gave the swap sign. And now Raymond Young is back in. We certainly hope he's okay, but he has been a tremendous help in giving his team a comfortable 32-point lead right now as the three from Gomez misses. Raymond Young stripped from behind. Out of bounds, it will remain Seneca ball. Wide open is Dakota Lewis. No good, but there's Anderson to get the loose ball. And a fresh 14-second shot clock. Shot clock down to 5. There's Anderson going up for 2. And inside 4 minutes, the lead now 34. Make it 32 once again as Jerry Mercury goes off the glass for 2 for the Saints. Katenge goes up, he's fouled, and the ref says he's shooting 2. Japrell Morgan has entered the game in favor of Dakota Lewis as Johnny Katenge will shoot 2. First one is good. 97-64 now. The Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints. 3.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. And back at it now. Petty to Dare in the corner. He's stripped. Josiah Dare will inbound it to Gomez. Gomez turnaround jumper is no good. He's fouled on the way up, though. He's shooting a pair. Gomez Jr. held to just 8 points in this one so far as Igor Soloviev from Kazakhstan will enter the game here for Seneca. Igor Soloviev, number 20. The 6'1" rookie. As Gomez hits his first free throw, he's up to 9. Anderson to Young for three. No. And the loose ball collected by Dalen Davis. Davis looking to go coast to coast. Can't finish. Young gets the rebound, though. And back over to Anderson. And pressing hard is Dalen Davis of the St. Clair Saints. Will remain Seneca ball with 2:44 to go. Raymond Young off the glass, good for two. Gomez Jr. pulls up three, it's good.
Gomez Jr. for three.
And perhaps too little too late here for the St. Clair Saints, as despite the long-range shot from Gomez, they still trail by 32 with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go. And Anderson off the glass for two more. 25 points for Jordan Anderson, number 23 for the Seneca Sting. Fantastic performance for him tonight. Loose ball collected by Japrell Morgan, and back come the Seneca Sting once again. Jordan Anderson has it. Anderson off the glass again, no good. Davis gets the rebound and out to Gomez Jr. Petty calling for it across court. Gomez tries to float it in himself, can't do it. And once again, here they come. Japrell Morgan of the Seneca Sting out to Anderson. 70 seconds left. Raymond Young held to just 2 points in this one. The three is off the mark. And the Saints inside of a minute here will try to salvage something on offense. And it looks like Petty will do so by shooting two. And a timeout is called, and I'm not sure what could be said that could change the result of this game, but perhaps nothing more than an opportunity to just get the guys a little bit of rest. However, that rest forthcoming here. Inside of a minute to go here in this game, and the result no longer in doubt. The Seneca Sting, barring any unforeseen circumstances, will be punching their ticket to tomorrow's semifinal. (102-68). The Seneca Sting lead the St. Clair Saints. If you missed it earlier, the Humber Hawks, the first team to make their way to tomorrow's semifinal, an 88-60 victory over the Georgian Grizzlies. .25 points for Jordan Anderson, and he will, going to see if he remains on the floor here for Seneca. Still taking a drink. He is going to check back in. Along with Sarakgar, Soloviev, Morgan, and Young. On the floor now for the Saints is Darnell Petty, Jerry Mercury, David Gomez Jr., Josiah Dare, and Dalen Davis. And at this point, I think it's whistles just for the sake of whistles here, because nothing's really going to change the result of this one. Inbound pass to Anderson. Anderson's going to bring it to half court. Now to Raymond Young. Young hasn't set down his dribble yet. He does now. Trying to get around the defenders. Tries to go cross court to Anderson. What an effort to keep it in bounds. Just ends up in the wrong possession there. Jerry Mercury with the feed over to Darnell Petty. And a picked off pass. Again, Dalen Davis will get him 2 more. Shot clock is off. And a valiant effort by the Saints to play all the way to the end here. Foul on Anderson. Anderson looking up going, what's the point? And shot clock is off, and it looks like Sarakar's just going to hang on to it. The applause begins, and with 10 seconds to go, the Seneca Sting go and shake hands with the St. Clair Saints. Your second semifinalist are the Seneca Sting after a 102-73 victory. Seneca got off to a tremendous start in the first quarter and never took their foot off the gas. It was never in doubt. The Seneca Sting defeat the St. Clair Saints. And with that, Seneca have punched their ticket to tomorrow's semifinal in the OCAA Basketball Championship here in the Athletics and Fitness Complex at Lambton College. Join us again at 6 o'clock. It will be the Sheridan Bruins and the Redeemer Royals in an all-Western Conference showdown. And then our main event at 8 o'clock tonight, the Lambton Lions will take on the George Brown Huskies in what in all likelihood will be a capacity crowd. We hope to see you there for that one. Thanks for joining us again. Your final score, Seneca Sting 102, St. Clair Saints 73.